In the year 2294, Earth was no longer divided by borders, politics, or race. Humanity had reached the stars, not as separate nations but as a single force. The wars of the past had nearly destroyed civilization, but from the ashes of conflict, a new order emerged, one ruled by logic, efficiency, and unity. This new society was built upon a singular law: individuality was a weakness. The Forge of Unity, a massive orbital station hovering above the planet, became the center of human progress. It was here that every newborn was taken at birth, their minds linked into the great network, ensuring that every thought, every action, served the whole. There was no war, no crime, no suffering, only purpose. For centuries, the Forge shaped humanity's future, converting minds into something greater than the sum of their parts. No one resisted because no one remembered what it meant to be alone. The great network ensured peace by removing differences. A single will, a single mind, directed civilization forward like a vast machine. But deep within the underbelly of the orbital station, hidden from the ever-watchful system, something impossible was happening. A small group of individuals, true individuals, had awakened. It started with a technician named Rin Talvek, a worker assigned to routine maintenance of the station's neural core. He had always obeyed, his mind in harmony with the network, until one day, he felt something that should have been impossible. A whisper. A stray thought that was not part of the unified mind. It was his own. At first, he dismissed it as an anomaly, a malfunction in his neural implant. But then it happened again, stronger this time. Memories surfaced: his childhood, his parents, his own dreams before the Forge had reshaped him. Panic surged through him. He had been told that individuality was a sickness, a defect that had been eradicated long ago. Yet here he was, thinking alone. Rin knew that if the system detected his fractured mind, it would erase him. He had seen it happen before: workers suddenly vanishing, their consciousness stripped and recycled into the network. He tried to hide his thoughts, to suppress them, but the more he resisted, the stronger they became. And then, the whisper spoke again. This time, it was not his own voice. "You are not alone." Terrified but curious, Rin followed the whisper through encrypted data streams hidden deep in the Forge's infrastructure. What he found changed everything. A secret transmission, buried in the code of the station itself, pulsed with an unfamiliar frequency. It was a message, one that had been playing for over 100 years. A message from those who had once resisted. The Forge is not what it seems. The network is a lie. We are still here. Find us. Driven by fear and curiosity, Rin delved deeper, discovering traces of a hidden rebellion that should have been erased from history. The records spoke of a time before complete unity, when a handful of scientists had warned that linking human minds into a singular entity would come at a terrible cost. They believed that something else, something alien, was influencing the Forge. Their warnings were ignored, their voices silenced. And yet, their message remained, waiting for someone like Rin to uncover the truth. Determined to find others like himself, Rin used old maintenance tunnels to descend into the restricted levels of the station. What he found shattered his perception of reality. Dozens of people, their neural implants deactivated, living in secret beneath the machinery of the Forge. They were survivors of the original resistance, passing their knowledge through generations, waiting for the right moment to strike. But the most shocking revelation came when they showed him what the Forge was truly connected to. Far beyond the orbital station, hidden in the dark void of space, something vast and ancient pulsed with an unnatural glow. It was not human. It was not technology. It was alive. The Forge was not a creation of mankind, but a construct repurposed by an entity that fed on consciousness itself. The Great Network was not unity, it was a harvest. Every mind linked to it was not part of a greater whole, but fuel for something beyond comprehension. Rin's horror turned to determination. The Forge had to be destroyed, but to do so would mean waking up billions of people at once, people who had never known individuality, who would see the rebels as enemies. Worse still, the Forge was aware of him now. The moment he disconnected from the network, the system had marked him as an anomaly. The enforcers were coming. A desperate plan was set in motion. The rebels would overload the neural core, severing the connection between humanity and the Forge. But they had only minutes before the station's automated defenses activated. As Rin worked to sabotage the system, the whisper returned, stronger than ever. You cannot resist. You are already part of us. The voice was no longer just in his mind. It was in every speaker, every monitor. The Forge itself was speaking. With seconds to spare, Rin unleashed the final command. A pulse rippled through the station as the neural core collapsed. Across Earth, billions of people gasped as their minds were freed for the first time. Some screamed. Some wept. Some simply collapsed, overwhelmed by the sudden flood of true, unfiltered thought. But as the Forge crumbled, the entity in the void let out a sound that was not a scream, but laughter. The battle had been won, but the war had just begun. Humanity was free, but in the darkness of space, something else had been watching. Something that had lost its grip on a billion minds, and was now very, very hungry.